your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay. If it's presented to her as it should be.
Ok. Allora qua posso guidarla. Visitiamo un po' la
Wonders
stanza.
Made by Man by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday. King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Un po' ricorda la situazione di Sansa Stark, no? Il fatto che questa ragazza della casa Forrester sia, come dire, intrappolata o comunque abbia l'obbligo di rimanere ad approdo del re. La somiglianza anche fisica è quella più o meno. Forse Sansa un po' più tracagnotta.
Ethan made this for me. Father. Much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can. Asher sent me this coin.
Una piccola premessa. Lei si trova ad approdo del re. Il perché non l'ho ancora capito, ma ad approdo del re è il periodo in cui Joffrey si sta per sposare con Lady Marjorie, se ricordo bene il nome. Quindi siamo più o meno alla fine della terza stagione, inizio della quarta nel telefilm. Sappiamo tutti cosa accade al matrimonio, almeno chi ha seguito il telefilm, e vediamo come si evolve.
Coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos.
Non bisogna fare un cazzo. Evidentemente, che cazzo devo fare?
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm fine, thank you.
Of course, milady.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble, but I thought you ought to know. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy, not in King's Landing with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, milady.
Riassunto veloce del dialogo. Allora, per chi non avesse voglia di masticare inglese, questo qua è il ragazzo che cambia il carbone o comunque lo mette nel braciere che serve a scaldare la stanza. Ha detto che mentre lavorava ha sentito la regina Cersei e Lady Margaery, appunto la promessa sposa del re, parlare riguardo gli Stark e la casa Forrester, la casa della ragazza che vediamo qua. Quindi lei già pensa che comunque Lady Margaery non aiuterà la sua casa e vediamo come prosegue. Ecco Lady Margaery che è uguale
Lady
all'attrice del
Margaery,
telefilm.
you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
I need your help, my lady.
Of course, and I will help you in any way I can. But there's another matter we must attend to first. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself.
I'm not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear. See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Allora, è arrivata Lady Margaery, ha detto che ha parlato con Cersei, la regina, quindi vediamo subito che Lady Margaery, come nel telefilm e come nei romanzi, è una ragazza onesta, è una ragazza giusta, è una ragazza buona. Vediamo che adesso la regina ha richiesto un'udienza perché accusa appunto Mira, la ragazza della casa Forrester, di tradimento e vediamo cosa accade.
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Good luck.
Boh, adesso ci incroceremo con uno dei personaggi più ostici e più malvagi, a mio parere, di questa saga. E c'è anche Tyrion Lannister, il fratello della regina, nonché il mio personaggio preferito in Game of Thrones.
Ah, Lady Margaery. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace?
Mi pare che i doppiatori siano gli stessi del telefilm originale.
With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Yes, Your Grace. They are traitors.
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily. I take it this is the kind of loyalty the king can expect from you. If you have any loyalty at all. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
He is the Warden of the North, Your Grace.
He is. And I the Queen Regent and Tyrion the Master of Coin.
The girl has a remarkable talent for answering questions while in fact saying nothing at all.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
would... Let the girl answer the question. Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like...
Ok, forse ho sbagliato l'ultima risposta perché io ho ascoltato Marjorie che mi ha detto di rispondere quello che Cersei voleva sentire. Io ho fatto tutto quello che voleva Però adesso vedo che la mia risposta nel fatto che sarei stato fedele comunque al re qualsiasi cosa accadesse a Marge ha dato fastidio, quindi speriamo bene.
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
These are trying times, my lord. My family fears what might happen now that the Boltons rule the North.
They must still answer to the crown. You shouldn't forget that, nor should they. That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I was trying to appease her.
I think that was clear to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard, not her.
You can help my family.
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
Good night, Lord Tyrion.
Ok, allora, diciamo che è un gioco basato sui dialoghi. Di solito non faccio gameplay così, perché più che play sono, sono dialoghi, quindi niente. Io continuerò a farlo perché a me piace molto Game of Thrones e il mondo del Trono di Spade, appunto. È stato un video abbastanza noioso che probabilmente dividerò in 2 parti. Comunque proseguiremo nella storia. Sono dei gameplay particolari che ci tengo a fare proprio perché sono un appassionato di questa storia, di questo mondo fantasy. Vi ringrazio per avermi seguito. Noi ci vediamo alla prossima puntata con Game of Thrones episodio 1. Ciao ragazzi.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.